Alright, 5 o'clock. Time to get this started. It's the finale of this playthrough. Yay! Gonna be going up against Blue, hopefully not lose, and then move on to the bonus dungeon after the credits. Oh boy, how exciting! Or it should be exciting, but I'm actually not terribly excited, considering that I had to kind of rush along in order to reach this finale. Maybe when I play Pokemon Crystal, I'll be able to kind of take in the finale. But instead, right now, nope, just trying to rush to the finale. Get this over with so that I can start Final Fantasy V for Job Fiesta. Anyway, before we get this finale started, I'm gonna go ahead and give some Patreon shoutouts. And those shoutouts are going to Snow Kieran, Hideru, and a special thanks to my special sponsor, Lit Dragon. Alright. And here we are. Right in the middle of Indigo Plateau. Or right at the end, rather. When we last left off, we took care of Lance. He kind of put up a fight, and well, I might have screwed things up. Because I wanted to be responsible for taking down his Dragon Knight, I kind of put the rest of my team in danger, and we don't have as many items going into the final battle as I would like. So hopefully my team will be able to win. Gonna be going up against Blue, because apparently Blue got here first, because of course he did, and now he's the champion. And in order for Red to become the champion, we have to defeat Blue. Makes me wonder, did Blue also have to defeat a champion to become the champion, or is he the first champion ever? Well, let me see here. I want to feel useful in some way. I know that I kind of screwed things up, but at the very least, I'd like to get in a first hit. Maybe get some poison in? That would make me feel better if I got some poison in. Blue is also going to have a very powerful Alakazam on hand. Gonna need a plan to deal with that thing, because that thing could probably take out me and everybody else on my team really easily. So gonna have to make sure... Lance was the champion before Blue? No. I don't think that's the case, because Lance is the leader of the Elite Four in this game. Lance becomes champion in the next games, I'm pretty sure. Although, I mean, from here on out, there's always the Elite Four and there's a champion. So I would assume that the final member of the Elite Four is not the same as the champion. Anyway, let's go ahead and get in there for the final battle. I'll probably be KO'd on the first or second turn, but as long as I can get some poison in. Hey! I was looking forward to seeing you, Red. My rivals should be strong to keep me sharp. While working on Pokédex, I looked all over for powerful Pokemon. Not only that, I assembled teams that would beat any Pokemon type. Obviously, Raticate was not part of that equation, which is why he took it out of his team. I meant to mention this back in the Pokemon Tower, but no, his Raticate didn't die, he just swapped it out. He also used to have a Fearow. He swapped that out too. He's just being a smart trainer. Which means he's gonna be dangerous. And now, I'm the Pokemon League champion. Red, do you know what that means? I'll tell you. I am the most powerful trainer in the world. Alright, final battle. Find it interesting how the game kind of, sort of, almost made you think this battle wasn't coming, considering Lance had his own boss theme, sort of. Not really his own boss theme, but point is, he had a boss theme, compared to the other Elite Four members who did not. Alright, what do? I'll tell you what, do. Get some poison in. Sandslash is immune to poison. I was not useful. I wish I could be useful. Okay, Jerry's gonna be weak against that. So will Timber and Erica and Ashu. It's gotta be Annabelle. Now Sandslash is gonna have some other powerful attacks. Well then, it's unfortunate that Toxic missed then. Oh sure, he gets his poison in. Where's that full heal? Where is that full heal? It's here somewhere. It's right there. This list is confusing to navigate. I'm so used to the newer games where they actually show the icons. Okay, that Sandslash seems to not be doing a whole lot in this fight, so go ahead and... oh, never mind. Now it's doing another thing. It's not too bad, though. 2 more agilities I recommend. I know I'm fainted, but I'm just going to keep commentating, by the way. Get in a few agilities. Raise your speed to max. Maybe gets in some critical hits that way. And start flying. That confusion was not really helpful, by the way. You know, I'm getting the feeling that maybe agility is not helping that much when it comes to critical hits. Okay, before taking him out, go ahead and heal up. That way, Annabelle's at full health, or close to it, hopefully, when we get into the next Pokemon. Probably could have saved that last fly. And bit it instead. Okay, there's that Pokemon. After all of that agility, Annabelle should be set up to possibly take it down. The catch is, not only has it got a really strong attack, but it also has the ability to recover. So here's hoping for a critical hit. Drat. Good news is, Blue has not healed it. And that takes care of that. Cool. That was Blue's biggest threat right there. It is nice that it is gone. Oh, an Executor. Well, in that case, just keep on flying, Annabelle. Oh, now you got a critical hit. Nah, well, good thing it was. Probably would have taken 2 hits anyway, if that were the case. Okay, time to start switching out and bring in somebody else. Who should be brought in? Maybe Ashu can paralyze it. I'm glad the members of my team are relatively speedy. Alright, get Ashu out of there. Bring in Timber. Ah, perfect. Time for some fun. There's that electric attack. Knew it would be coming. It's only a matter of time before Blue remembers he has healing items. Okay, a level up for Annabelle. Gonna kind of want that. Possibly. Oh boy, Cloyster. See what you can do, Timber. Apparently not a whole lot with that attack. Cloyster's part ice. Try Flamethrower. Darn, was hoping that wouldn't hit. Might have to let Timber go down so that Erica can come in. She can totally finish that thing off, assuming that Blue doesn't heal. Oh, she's out of Thunderbolts. Crap. Well, that didn't work out too well. Would have been able to take it down had she had a Thunderbolt left. I mean, we do have Ethers on hand, but she was already in battle. Kind of a little late to be worrying about doing that. Oh well. Meanwhile, Ashtu seems to be doing pretty well for himself. Ashtu has so far continued to remain relevant, while me and Erica, we're kind of baggage. Although that quick attack is certainly not helpful. Other than that, I feel like I feel like Ashtu has a bit of an advantage, because he was born a Pikachu, while me and Erica, we were turned into Pokemon. Maybe if we had been born Pokemon, we'd be able to put in our weight, so to speak. Or more than our weight, because we're kind of light. Well, we'd be light as Nidorans anyway. Oh no, critical hit. Because of course it's a critical hit. Why wouldn't it be a critical hit? Throw on that last max revive. Gonna play it smart. Gonna revive the Pokemon that we know can actually do a thing. Surprisingly, Blue's AI is not that high. He's telling his Pokemon to do random things. Giovanni! Boy, Giovanni is a better trainer than anybody in the Elite Four. Oh, and that's it. Cool. That was anticlimactic. No! That can't be! You beat my best! After all that work to become League Champ? My reign is over already? It's not fair! Why? Why did I lose? I never made any mistakes raising my Pokemon. Darn it, you're the new Pokemon League Champion. Although I don't like to admit it. Red! So, you won! Congratulations! You're the new Pokemon League champion. Good job, Red. Would have felt kinda sucky if I allowed you to catch me and then you couldn't do the job. You've grown up so much since you first left with Pikachu. Red, you have come of age. Blue, I'm disappointed. I came when I heard you beat the Elite Four, but when I got here, you had already lost. Blue, do you understand why you lost? You have forgotten to treat your Pokemon with trust and love. Right. That's totally it. And not because he used Reflect twice in a row. Without them, you will never become a champ again. But he will become a gym leader. Red, you understand that your victory was not just your own doing. The bond you share... You dang right it's not just his own doing. I've been the one coaching him this whole time. The bond you share with your Pokemon is marvelous. Red, come with me. Ahem. Congratulations, Red. This floor is the Pokemon Hall of Fame. Pokemon League champions are honored for their exploits here. Their Pokemon are also recorded in the Hall of Fame. Red, you have endeavored hard to become the new League champion. Congratulations, Red. You and your Pokemon are Hall of Famers. Yay me! I was useless towards the end, but I still get to be in the Hall of Fame. I feel special. I wonder if this means Blue also got to put his Pokemon in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Ashchu. You could never win a tournament in the TV show, but you finally won a tournament now. You just had to become a Pikachu to do it. Wonderful. Do you like to collect things? Yeah. And then we move on to the credits. I want to say right now, I love this song. Ooh, we got shadowy Pokemon swiping across the screen. Is that a Super Game Boy effect, or are they all shadowy for real? They're all shadowy for real. Interesting. Makes me wonder why they aren't shadowy for real when you're not playing this in color. Oh boy. Once again, I want to bring up that we're not really done with the game yet. We gotta do the bonus dungeon, where one more legendary Pokemon awaits us. After that, we'll be done with this game. Boy, we took care of Blue in a timely manner. That went way easier than I thought it would. Like, seriously. Like I said, Giovanni is a much better trainer than Blue is. I mean, when Giovanni was all, "You will now battle me, the greatest trainer in the world," I thought he was full of himself, but no, he's earned the right to be talking like that, because that was easily the toughest boss fight in the entire game. Which is interesting, because normally when I play this game, he's not that difficult. Part of it definitely had to do with us being underleveled. The end. Or is it? No, it's not. I already said it wasn't. Can I press anything to... Okay, there we go. It just automatically ended. Alright, let us go ahead and continue the game, make our way into the bonus dungeon. And we begin at home. Are we still fainted? Let's rest. Red, if you drive your Pokemon too hard, they'll dislike you. You should take a rest. Oh good, you and your Pokemon are looking great. Take care now. Does not even acknowledge the fact that Red is champion. And he is champion. That is canonical. We have loaded the game after the final boss, which is kind of a rare thing for a game to do. Normally when you reload your game, you're put before the final boss. And no more acknowledgement from Professor Oak. I wonder if that computer message still talks about joining the Pokemon League. Calling on Pokemon trainers. Yep. They're still looking for more trainers to become champions. He is champion up until he decides to not be champion? I don't know about that. I mean, considering the fact that he's not sitting there waiting for somebody to beat him, he might actually very well have already been defeated. I mean, considering how many of us were still kind of KO'd. Although then again, probably not the case. The Pokemon League probably just closed. It's like, alright, we had 2 champions, 2 is enough, nobody else is allowed here. I'm guessing that's how it works. I mean, otherwise you just have a chain of champions who just wait there until another person comes along and becomes champion. I don't know. It's all very confusing, the whole championship thing. But as for right now, I think he actually is still champion because I'm pretty sure that this cave right up here, which we're about to go into and is no longer blocked, the person who is guarding it said that only the champion may enter. Well, although then again, he's no longer guarding it, so maybe that rule was lifted, because nobody guarding it, anybody could enter it. Alright, before we head into the bonus dungeon, there's a new option here on the PC. Pokemon League. Access Pokemon League site. Access the Hall of Fame list. So we can just look at our Hall of Fame and that sort of thing. The consensus is the Red just said no to sitting around waiting for someone to come to him, hence why Lance is the champion in the next gen of games. That makes sense. So yeah, you can look up all of the Pokemon and their levels that they were at when they helped you become the champion. And the interesting thing is, you can go through the process over and over again. I've actually done it, where I wanted to grind some levels, and the best way to grind some levels was fighting the Elite Four and the champion over and over again. It's also the only way you're going to get more money, which reminds me, we should buy some Ultra Balls before we go in that cave. And every time you beat the champion, your Pokemon are registered again. It doesn't replace the previous registration either. It's added to the registration. I'm not entirely sure if there is a limit to how many times you can register your team, but there was never a limit that I could find. Alright, I'm gonna take a back seat. It's pretty evident that I am severely outclassed by the rest of my team. Me and Erica. I've been thinking about whether I would do Fire Red, by the way, and you know, I might very well. Because looking at the Pokemon that have joined my team during this adventure, some of them really did not get enough time on my team. And going through this game again, but the remakes would definitely remedy that. Mind you, that won't be happening anytime soon. What I'm thinking I'll do is go on to Pokemon Silver after the 4-Job Fiesta. Then somewhere down the line, I'll play Emerald, and then maybe I'll do Fire Red. Because one of the Pokemon I feel that I did not get enough of a chance to play with enough, besides Lapras of course, is also Growlithe and Arcanine. You get them so late in the game. Oh, there's items here. Hold on a sec. Let me go ahead and look up if there's any invisible items in this cave. Totally figures that there's items in this cave. First floor on the rock. Oh, it's only in red and blue. Oh, that's right! This cave changes with every game. Red and Blue had one version of this cave, and now we got different items in this cave. In yellow, that is. So let me see here. First floor on a single rock just east at the center. Alright. I'm gonna hunt for those. Meanwhile, we've got the strongest Pokemon, the strongest wild Pokemon anyway, in the game here. Like, upwards of level 50 or so. Good experience. Not as good as the Elite Four, but good experience anyway. And the reason why I'm going to be going with Silver, first off, I actually do own Pokemon Crystal. The battery's dead, unfortunately, but I do own it. I could get the battery placed, but the reason why I'm going with Silver is I'm kind of interested in playing through Silver on the Super Game Boy, much like how I've been playing through this game on the Super Game Boy, which reminds me, gonna go back to that cinematic border because I'm gonna have a movie reference here. Because most people who have played through Gold, Silver, and Crystal have played it on the Game Boy Color or other platform where it has full color. It's very different looking if you're playing it in black and white or the Super Game Boy. And I thought it would be kind of an interesting look, because I myself am used to playing it in full color. And yeah, Crystal does not work on Super Game Boy. Is that the end of the first floor? No, there's more on the first floor. In fact, I bet that rock over there is holding the item. Well, as long as we're on the second floor. There's another one. Somewhere on a single rock. There's a solo rock somewhere around here. Good thing Ashchu is fast. Oh boy, it's a maze. Gotta love the mazes. Oh good, another Ultra Ball. Kinda needed that. Don't use up too many of your Thunderbolts, Ashchu. You might need some for... oh gosh. Did not expect that thing to survive that hit. Which starter I'm going for in Silver? Oh, I had an idea, but then earlier today I started thinking about what Pokemon I'm gonna get along the way during the adventure, and it's like, well, maybe that's not the best idea. Normally when I play, like, Pokemon Crystal, I go for Chikorita because there are other fire and water Pokemon that I want during the adventure. Namely, Growlithe and Lantern. But playing through Silver is going to be a little different. Might still go for Chikorita, but might go for Totodile. I will say this. During this adventure, we had a Charmeleon on my team, but then it's like, you know, this Charmeleon would be cooler as a Charizard, but it's going to get replaced before it becomes a Charizard. So the plan is, assuming the battery on this game doesn't die, which, knock on wood, it's an old game and hasn't needed a new battery so far, gonna transfer the Charmeleon that I had on this game into Silver and train it on there into a Charizard. So Cyndaquil and that line of evolutions, maybe not, because I already got a different fire Pokemon in mind. Now though, Cyndaquil is kind of a cool Pokemon. I might have it and then replace it later. Ah, there's that peeping up on this floor. Oh boy, this place is a regular maze. I can't remember which way leads where. Nice, I probably should have looked this place up. Do we still have any repels? I'm sure we must have one left, right? Yeah. Full restore, cool. It would be weird replacing my starter, but there's so many Pokemon, it's bound to happen at some point. Unless I just go with a Pokemon that isn't likely to get replaced. And of the 3 starters in Generation 2, Chikorita probably is the least likely to get replaced. Because in regards to fire, I'm gonna have a Charmeleon and Charizard. In regards to water, also going to be transferring a Vaporeon from this game, because you get a Vaporeon pretty dang late in Generation 2. Okay, go back down and find out what's across that waterway. Meanwhile, in regards to the grass Pokemon, I'm not sure if there's any grass Pokemon that would replace Chikorita. So just going off that, it's quite likely that Chikorita will be my starter in Generation 2. Probably an item over here. Yep. Ooh, rare candy. It's kind of pointless to have one of those now. Vaporeon can learn Surf, Waterfall, and Whirlpool. I checked. Mind you, I wouldn't want it to have all 3 of those, which is why I'm also going to be training up a Lantern. It won't hurt to have 2 water Pokemon on my team. Although by that logic, it wouldn't hurt to have 2 fire Pokemon on my team. So, I'm not going to make a final decision on my starter yet. This is a dead end. Go back. I will say... Oh, this is the dead end. Derp. I will say that I don't want to trap myself into, like, playing every Pokemon game. I'll play the ones... Yeah, I'm gonna play mainly the ones that have Pokemon that are interesting and I want a chance to train them up. I'm not likely to ever play the 3DS games, because I never got a 3DS. But most of the other generations have Pokemon I'm interested in, including Generation 4. Weasel is my favorite water Pokemon of that generation, and I really want to be able to train one. Mind you, it'll be quite some time before I even consider playing that generation. Interesting that we got Dittos here. We also had Dittos in the Burnt Mansion on Cinnabar Island. And that's where research on Mew and Mewtwo was taking place. Foreshadowing? Possibly the seed for a game theory? Pachirisu, it was an interesting Pokemon, but I tried training one and wasn't really working out too well. Might give it another shot. Alright, how much further is this cave? Oh boy. I'd say we should have bought more repels, but that super repel wasn't really doing much. It only works if your Pokemon are a higher level than the wild ones, and that's clearly not the case. Hold on a sec, there's another hidden item in this place. On the rock that stands out close to the waterway to the plateau with 2 visible items. Okay, haven't missed it yet. More rare candy. It has definitely been a long time since I've traversed this cave. By the way, I'd like to point out that I no longer have on hand a Master Ball, because I had Red use it to catch Timber, because Growlithe and Arcanine are awesome. It also means that the legendary Pokemon here is going to be really difficult to catch, and as usual, I make no promises. Most people, I assume, save their Master Ball for this Pokemon. I am not most people. I am a person who claims to be a raccoon dragon. Definitely a lot of random items around here. A max elixir. Oh, this place has Chanseys? Interesting. don't really need a Chansey. I already had one. Alright, there's more water. Maybe that's where the hidden item is. Yep, it's gonna be here. Alright, what did that say? On the rock that stands out close to the waterway. A rock that stands out? It stood out alright. Getting all of these cool items, but won't really have much of a use for them anymore. This is technically the final dungeon, in a way. Once we're done here, we're done with the game. Another Ultra Ball, cool. Man, had I known the Dittos here would be level 60, would have totally emptied a slot on Red's team and trained one of those up, or just caught it, just for the sake of having it transform in the upcoming battle. And say that even if we didn't catch that Pokemon, we technically had it on our team. Also, it occurs to me that thanks to the collection of that last hidden item, I have collected every hidden item in the game. And just about every not hidden item as well. I feel kind of proud about that. When I play Generation 2, I'm going to use a guide for those hidden items as well. And there it is. And of course there's a random encounter right next to him. Alright, let's see what we got here. Is it Mew? I wish. Nope. It's friggin' Mewtwo. Surprising nobody. Everybody knows this guy's here. Alright, Ash2, are you fast enough to pull off a Thunder Wave? Nope, you're going down. Mewtwo, the strongest Pokemon in the game, and would be the strongest Pokemon in the franchise for a long time. Alright, Annabelle, you're a speedy Pokemon. Are you faster than Mewtwo? Nope. Yeah, I was just commenting earlier about how my teammates are all fast and stuff. But not faster than Mewtwo. I'm pretty sure Annabelle's my fastest teammate, too. Alright, this calls for strategy. Hide. Oh boy, recover. Infinite possible recovers that thing has. See if we can get lucky and burn it, Timber. Nope. Surf, Strength. Can you do anything? Surely you can survive that. Unless you know it's a friggin' critical hit. Well, guess what's happening now? I'm being put up against a friggin' Mewtwo. This is my worst nightmare. I'm not going to cause any damage to that thing. Let's start tossing Ultra Balls and maybe something will work. Well, there goes those odds. But there's still probably like a 1 in 255 chance of it working. And I just got thrashed by the most powerful attack I will ever experience. Why did that have to be a critical hit? Could have had a chance to throw one more ball that could have been survivable, but nope, critical hit. Man, we couldn't even defeat that thing. That is unfortunate. Safe to say, we're not catching that thing. Oh well. Well, I guess in that case, this is the point where I start closing out this playthrough. It's definitely been a fun playthrough. Kinda hard at times. Really wish that I didn't have to rush it to finish. This is like the 7th or 8th day in a row, possibly 9th, that I played this game. I can't take much more out of this. Thank goodness I get a day off after this. Going to be taking a day off, and then Tuesday gonna start up that Final Fantasy V 4-job fiesta. Gonna play that challenge run through Final Fantasy V for the sake of the charity Child's Play. Before we start ending this, well, I mean, before we end this, we're already starting. Before we end this, I kind of want to give like a cast call here of all the Pokemon who have been on my team. And there's been plenty of them. My gosh, I had not realized how many Pokemon have been on this journey that I've been a part of. There was, of course, Ashtu, who is Ash Ketchum reincarnated as a Pikachu. He's done pretty well for himself, gotta say. Of course, there's me and Erica, who were transformed into Nidoran dragons. That's definitely been an experience. But of course, I'm gonna have to change back to normal after this stream is over, implying that I was really transformed. Assuming that this transformation really did happen, I'm gonna have to get used to having 5 fingers on each hand again. Gonna have to get used to not being poisonous. I'm gonna miss being poisonous. I'll get another chance later on. Me and my sister will definitely have to be Nidorans again for a future adventure. Not Generation 2, there's too many other Pokemon I want on my team, but if and when I play through Fire Red, that's when me and Erica are gonna make our comeback. And we're going to have that nice Poison Touch ability. That'll make this being a Nidoran thing even awesomer. Also going to have to get used to walking on my toes again. As a raccoon dragon, I got dragon feet. I am not flat-footed. I walk on my toes. The good news is, I get my tail back! Yay! Let's see here. Diddy, named after Diddy Kong, of course. He was useful at the start of the adventure, since Ashtu couldn't really help out against Brock. Didn't stay on my team for too long, but stayed on my team long enough. Pepe was an amazing member of my team. That confusion made Pepe awesome. And of course, Damien, like I said, he'll be coming back in Generation 2, assuming the battery in this game lasts long enough. Which it should. That's only like a few months away when I start that adventure. Gonna bring him back, evolve him to a Charizard, gonna have some fun. Notlantis, named after a guy I know, sort of an in-joke. But despite having an in-joke of a name, Notlantis was definitely a useful Pokemon, especially towards the end of his journey, taking care of Lieutenant Surge like he did. Dinoplant? Dinoplant is one of those Pokemon that I wish I could have had longer, but he had to get replaced at some point. I think if and when I play Fire Red, Bulbasaur is going to be my starter. Red Koopa, who is apparently a squirrel turtle. Go figure, that's like mind-blown information right there. He was on my team long enough. Kind of fun having his fluffy-tailed self on my team. Azrael was pretty cool. I did not plan to have a Drowsy or Hypno on my team, but having Azrael on my team, he was super useful. And Alex! Alex is in there as a sort of honorable mention. He didn't really join my team per se, but we got him and evolved him and gonna send him to Generation 2. I've got him nicknamed Doc Blue there as a possible alternate nickname to Alex, because I named him Alex because I was stressed for time and couldn't think of anything better at the time, but given the time travel element that is going to come into play, I think Doc Blue would be a more fitting nickname. And then Lucky the Ninetales. Won him from the Game Corner. That is Lucky. And then of course Sam, Max, and Joe. Would have liked to have a Dodrio on my team longer, might get another one in some future game, but not sure which game. Elmo the Marowak. He was cool. Fluttershy. Fluttershy is another Pokemon I wish I could have had longer. If and when I play Generation 4, I know that Ponytas are catchable in that generation, so maybe I'll get a Ponyta then. Jenny, of course, it was just extreme luck. First Safari Ball, it's caught. What the heck? Had to train it on my team, because when else was I going to get an opportunity to have a Chansey on my team? Ninjantis, didn't really get a whole lot of use out of Ninjantis, especially would have liked to have gotten some use out of Swords Dance, but he already got critical hits, and the way Generation 1 works, Swords Dance would not have helped with critical hits. I think I've had Scyther on my team long enough, though. Thing of it is, I have no interest in its evolution, which is introduced in Generation 2, and I don't feel like being pressed to evolve a Scyther into a Scizor, so having a Scyther in this game is good enough. Nessie, of course, I'm going to have to find another Lapras because Nessie did not get good enough use. And then, of course, there's our final three teammates. Jerry the Dugong, who I evolved from a Seal because I wanted to have a Seal on my team. It comes late in the game, but really wanted to train up a Seal, and Jerry was certainly useful, especially after evolving. Annabelle, once again, a Pokemon that comes so late in the game I don't normally care, but boy, Annabelle's strong. And to think, she never even learned Hyper Beam. And finally, Timber, the Arcanine. I'm definitely going to get another Growlithe Arcanine, because favorite Pokemon, of course they are not my last. Especially, once again, given that Timber was joining so late in this adventure. Anyway, let's see here. so that'll be it for this game. Like I said, next up is Final Fantasy V, and then later on is Pokemon Silver. We're going to do something similar to this adventure. Going to bring in a whole bunch of Pokemon, catch my favorites. But knowing in the future that I'll be playing some other Pokemon games, I won't be as inclined to train as many as I did in this adventure. With that said, down at the bottom of the screen is all of my patrons, and, well, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go back to being a raccoon dragon for a while, and I'll become a Nidoran again at some point. Like I said, especially if I do Fire Red. Thank you, Maddie, for watching. It was kind of neat having a Rattata watching my stream. I'll definitely check yours out from time to time as well. And, I will see you in the next one.